So, I've been doing side hustles for years, not weeks, not some 30-day challenge, not one of those I tried dropshipping for a weekend and became a millionaire videos, actual years. Some of the projects worked, some failed, some made a little money and then quietly died in the corner without anyone noticing. So the funny thing is that until recently I wasn't tracking everything properly. Sure, I knew roughly what was making money and what wasn't, but I wasn't documenting it publicly. That changed in April. I started a website, started writing monthly reports, and decided to share the numbers exactly as they are: the good, the bad, and the slightly embarrassing. April and May were the first 2 months I documented publicly. So today I want to show you the results, not the highlights, not just the wins, everything. Across these 2 months, my side hustles made 735 euros profit. April, I made 390 euros, and on May, I made 344 euros. Not enough to retire, not enough to buy a Ferrari, probably not enough to buy one Ferrari wheel, but real money from real experiments. And what surprised me most wasn't the amount, it was where the money actually came from. So let's start. April finished with 390 euro profit. Looking at that number alone, you'd probably think several side hustles performed well. That wasn't really the case. In reality, one side hustle carried almost the entire month on its back. And that side hustle was 3D printing. And before somebody says it, no, I wasn't sitting in my basement printing dragons 24 hours a day. Most of my profit came from platform rewards. Over the years, I uploaded models to various 3D printing platforms, collected points, participated in reward systems, and built up accounts. In April, those rewards turned into something valuable. I received a Bambu Lab A1 mini printer, a Lego Neptune 4 Plus printer, a couple of Creality filament dryers, some additional rewards like filament. Then I sold everything locally. So final profit 440 euros, which is honestly kind of ridiculous when you compare it to everything else. Without 3D printing, April would have looked completely different. That's one things these monthly reports immediately revealed. Not all side hustles contribute equally. Sometimes one side hustle is carrying the entire team. And in April, that was definitely 3D printing. So, tool rentals came next. One rental. That's it. My DJI mini drone. Profit 40 euros. Not exciting, not YouTube thumbnail worthy, but almost no work. The listing already existed, somebody booked it, I handed over the drone, a few days later I got it back, and that's done. Honestly, I like side hustles like that. They are boring, and boring is underrated. Then we have Amazon Kindle. This one is almost comedy. April earnings are 7 cents. I don't even know what to say about that. Apparently, somebody somewhere read a few pages of one of my books. Thank you, mysterious stranger. You bought me approximately 1/3 of a chewing gum. Still, technically profitable, which sounds much better than I made 7 cents. The next one was Upwork, and this is where things got a bit stupid. I received an offer worth around $85 to create a selfie-style promotional video for a mobile game. The problem was that the game ad looked incredibly sketchy. You know those advertisements. The ones where somebody claims they made $5,000 by brushing their teeth. That kind. I didn't want my face attached to it, but I wanted the money. So I thought maybe I can record the video and then use an AI face swap tool. Brilliant plan, except it wasn't. I paid for the software, uploaded everything, waited for the results, the face swap looked terrible. Not slightly bad, just simply terrible. Like a low-budget science fiction movie from 2004. So I abandoned the project, lost the job, lost the money on the software, ended April at minus 2 euros. Not a huge loss, but definitely one of those moments where you can sit there thinking, why did I think this was a good idea? Survey platforms weren't much better. I was testing one of those game offers where you can earn rewards for reaching certain levels. At first, everything looked great. I was actually in profit. Then progress slowed down. The game started demanding more time, more purchases, more effort, and suddenly the numbers weren't looking so attractive anymore. Final result minus 10 euros. I've noticed this pattern before. A lot of these offers look amazing during the first few days, then the reality arrives, usually carrying a baseball bat. The final losses came from projects I am actually building. App development cost me 36 euros. I will make a separate video about this. My website cost me 42 euros. So also a separate video. Neither made money, at least not yet, but those weren't accidental losses. They are investments into experiments I want to test over the long term. Could they fail? Absolutely. But I'd rather spend money testing something than spend years wondering whether it would have worked. So April finished at 390 euros profit. Good month, but heavily dependent on 3D printing. That becomes important later, because May looked completely different. May was strange, not because it was bad, actually it was pretty good, but because I wasn't working particularly hard on side hustles. I wasn't aggressively pushing anything. I wasn't chasing every opportunity. I wasn't trying to maximize every euro. And yet, May still produced 340 euros profit, only about 46 euros less than April. This caught my attention, because that's what I'm really looking for these days, not side hustles that require constant effort, side hustles that keep moving even when the life gets busy, and May shows some signs of that. The biggest winner this month was Upwork, profit 136 euros, which is funny considering Upwork lost money in April. This time the income came from two recurring jobs. Nothing exciting, nothing glamorous, just small repeatable tasks. And honestly, that's becoming one of my favorite types of income. A lot of people chase huge opportunities. Meanwhile, small recurring work quietly pays the bills. Not exciting, but effective. Second place went to 3D printing, much lower than April. No free printers this time, no giant payout rewards. This month, printing made me 121 euros, mostly filament rewards that are later sold locally. Still solid. And again, most of the work had already been done months or earlier. The models already existed, the accounts already existed, the rewards kept arriving, and that's the part I find fascinating. Past work continuing to create opportunities later. And then came Respondent. This one surprised me. I completed a single interview, roughly 1 hour long, profit 80 euros. On paper, that's fantastic. The problem is consistency. Respondent opportunities are rare, especially for someone like me. I'm not a startup founder, I'm not a software developer, I'm not some ultra specific niche user that research companies desperately want, and I am for a small country in Eastern Europe. So while I appreciate the 80 euros, I don't see Respondent as a reliable side hustle. It's more like finding money in an old jacket pocket. A pleasant surprise, not a business model. Amazon Kindle also woke up, well, a little. May earnings nearly 5 euros, which sounds tiny because it is, but compared to 7 cents, it felt like explosive growth. The books are still sitting there, still selling occasionally, still generating small royalties, tiny amounts, but real amounts. The only new loss came from testing content clipping, minus €5, basically the cost of software. Too early to judge, we'll see where the experiment goes. Also launched another website, kirimas.io.com, a website focused on electrical engineering and automation. Hosting cost €41 for 3 years. No income yet, just another experiment entering the arena. We'll see what happens. Maybe it becomes something valuable, maybe it becomes an expensive digital graveyard. Time will tell. So what 2 months taught me? The biggest lesson wasn't about money. It was about how different side hustles behave over time. Some require constant attention, some keep producing results long after the work is done. And those are the ones I'm becoming most interested in, not because they're fully passive. I actually think the phrase passive income gets abused online. Most passive income isn't passive at all. Usually there's a mountain of work hidden somewhere in the story. But semi-passive, that feels real. 3D printing rewards, Amazon Kindle, rental equipment, those are all examples where previous work continues generating something later. That's a pattern I want more of. Another lesson. Tracking everything changes your perspective. If I only talked about the wins, these months would look amazing. But that's not reality. Reality includes failed experiments, bad purchases, wrong decisions, money wasted on ideas that sounded smarter in my head. And I think that's valuable to document because that's what side hustles actually look like: messy, uneven, sometimes frustrating, sometimes surprisingly rewarding. So final numbers: April profit €390, May profit €344, and combined total €735. The strongest side hustle remains 3D printing. Upwork had a strong comeback in May. Amazon Kindle is slowly waking up. Respondent remains unpredictable. The websites and apps are still long-term bets, and several experiments are still too early to judge. For now, I'm going to keep tracking everything publicly. Every win, every loss, every stupid mistake, and every unexpected success. We'll see what June brings.